Imagine this: the largest retailer in America, once a symbol of innovation and wealth, now reduced to an empty shell of its former self. Sears, a company that once sold everything under the sun, went from dominating the retail world for over a century to becoming a cautionary tale of corporate greed and mismanagement. How could something so iconic fall apart so drastically? Today, we explore the rise and shocking fall of Sears, a story of ambition, bad decisions, and the downfall of an American legend. To understand Sears' downfall, we must first explore its meteoric rise. Founded in 1892 by Richard Warren Sears and Alva Curtis Roebuck, Sears started as a mail-order catalog company, selling watches and jewelry. As the business grew, so did the range of products. From clothing and furniture to tools and even homes, Sears sold everything an American household could need. The famous Sears catalog became a household staple, reaching customers nationwide, even in rural areas where retail options were limited. Sears didn't just sell products, it revolutionized the way America shopped. The company was an innovator in retail, leading to the creation of Sears department stores across the country. By the mid-20th century, Sears was the largest retailer in the world, and its name was synonymous with quality and convenience. It expanded into services like insurance and real estate, and its famous Sears Tower in Chicago, once the tallest building in the world, symbolized the company's power and influence. At its peak, Sears was a powerhouse, leading the retail industry for decades and adapting to the changing needs of American consumers. However, by the late 20th century, the first cracks began to appear in Sears' foundation. The company's success made it complacent. As competitors like Walmart and Target emerged with lower prices and more efficient operations, Sears was slow to react. By the 1980s, it was clear that Sears had lost its edge. The company's management was deeply rooted in its traditional ways, failing to keep up with the changing retail landscape. While competitors embraced innovation, streamlined their operations, and focused on customer experience, Sears held on to its bloated bureaucracy and outdated strategies. Instead of modernizing its stores and offering competitive pricing, Sears doubled down on its old model, leading to declining market share. One of Sears' first major missteps was its failure to anticipate the rise of big-box retailers like Walmart, which offered lower prices by operating with leaner business models. While Sears continued to rely on its broad range of products and services, Walmart and others focused on efficiency and cost-cutting, which appealed to price-conscious consumers. The real death spiral, however, began when hedge fund manager Eddie Lampert took control in 2004. Lampert, who merged Sears with another struggling retail giant, Kmart, was hailed as a financial genius, but his approach to Sears was marked by extreme cost-cutting and asset stripping, which eventually accelerated the company's decline. Lampert's strategy was to focus on squeezing as much profit as possible from Sears' existing assets, including its real estate and iconic brands like Kenmore and Craftsman. But instead of reinvesting in stores, improving customer service, or competing with e-commerce giants like Amazon, Lampert's strategy involved selling off valuable parts of the company and downsizing operations. Under his leadership, Sears started closing hundreds of stores, alienating both employees and customers. The stores that remained open often looked outdated, with poor inventory and terrible customer service. The once proud retail giant became known for empty shelves, neglected aisles, and failing to attract new customers. Meanwhile, Lampert's restructuring tactics, which included spinning off assets to entities he controlled, led to accusations of corporate greed and self-interest. While Sears was burning, Lampert seemed more focused on financial engineering than turning the company around. This led to accusations that he was more interested in stripping the company for parts than genuinely saving it. The fall: Sears versus digital age and competitors. As Sears continued to struggle internally, the external environment became even less forgiving. The rise of e-commerce, led by Amazon, changed the way people shopped. Consumers were moving online for convenience, pricing, and selection. But Sears failed to make the necessary investment in its e-commerce platform. While competitors were building robust online presences, Sears remained stuck in the past. Even worse, the company's retail competitors, Walmart, Target, and others, had evolved and adapted to changing consumer preferences, while Sears continued to rely on its crumbling physical infrastructure. What once seemed like a trusted American brand became irrelevant in a retail landscape that was speeding toward a digital future. Sears' failure to innovate in the digital space was one of the final nails in its coffin. By the 2010s, it was clear that Sears could not compete in a world dominated by online shopping. The company's legacy retail business had become obsolete, and it lacked the vision and leadership to turn things around. The collapse and fallout. Sears officially filed for bankruptcy in 2018, but the damage had already been done. At its peak, Sears employed hundreds of thousands of people, but by the time of its collapse, it had left countless workers without jobs. Pensions were slashed, retirement benefits lost, and communities that had relied on Sears stores for decades were abandoned. Sears' collapse wasn't just a corporate failure, it had real human costs. Thousands of employees and retirees saw their livelihoods and savings disappear. Sears, once an iconic American brand, had become another tragic example of corporate greed and mismanagement, leaving a wake of destruction in its path. The collapse of Sears also serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of prioritizing short-term profits over long-term sustainability. Its leadership's failure to innovate, combined with a ruthless focus on financial engineering, led to the complete downfall of a company that should have had the resources and brand power to adapt to the modern world. Lessons learned from Sears' fall. The rise and fall of Sears offers several important lessons for businesses today. First, the need for innovation and adaptation cannot be overstated. In a rapidly changing world, even the largest companies cannot afford to rest on their laurels. Sears failed to invest in its stores, its customer experience, and its online presence, and it paid the ultimate price. Second, leadership matters. Poor management decisions, especially when driven by corporate greed, can destroy even the most iconic of brands. Eddie Lampert's focus on financial gains over operational improvements led to Sears' downfall. His neglect of the company's core business operations in favor of squeezing out profits was a key factor in Sears' collapse. Finally, Sears' fall is a reminder that no company is too big to fail. as Amazon, Walmart, and other retail giants continue to dominate. They too must remain vigilant and adaptable, or risk becoming the next cautionary tale. Sears' downfall is a story of missed opportunities, corporate greed, and ultimately a failure to adapt. A company that once symbolized American retail dominance is now nothing more than a fading memory. What do you think? Could Sears have survived if it had made different choices? What lessons can modern companies learn from its dramatic fall? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video if you find it informative. Make sure to subscribe for more stories on the rise and fall of companies, the biggest scams in history, and the darkest true crime tales. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Thank you for watching.